Let's go.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Coded and Loaded Talking Truck. This is episode 5. I'm Bryce Hammond, as you know, joined with my wonderful co-host
Ainsley Smith.
And today we're going to be talking about something near and dear to my little heart. A little product that you guys may have heard about if you've ever worked with me before. Ainsley, why don't you tell them what it is?
All right, so the king of IQ over here is my co-host. So today we're learning about cloud IQ, and I'm probably going to be learning just as much as you're going to be learning.
Yeah, Ainsley, she's done all these roles. None of them have come near IQ, so it's probably like her first ever look at it too, which is super cool. So if you guys have never seen it, today we're going to be showing, why are we talking about IQ today? That's one of the reasons I'm supposed to talk about. So we're talking about IQ because, as you know, we've talked about it every episode. Users Conference, hello, in Denver. It is the 21st through the 23rd
Of September.
Gotta get the month right. Don't show up in October. And as you know, we're debuting products. We're debuting what's new, what's coming on. Good chance to see us all. But we're going to be showing 2 templates today. A quick overview, not the detailed full look you'll get at UC. 2 of our most commonly requested templates that a lot of people out there have asked for, some functionality that a lot of different IQ customers have asked for. So I'm going to show you a little sneak peek behind the curtain of those 2 of those dashboards today. I think that's it. What else?
If you come to UC, as you all should, then we have about 2,000 IQ sessions, so you can at least go to one of them. One of the really cool ones Bryce is actually doing, and it is called Beyond Templates, Real Results.
Yep.
And it is actually customer templates.
Yeah.
So if you can attend that one will be pretty good.
For sure. We're like, these are the reports that we build and we give to customers, and we're like, look how cool and pretty these are, and they're awesome. You'll see, they're super cool. But the big point of our product is the ability to build whatever you want, and we train you on how to do that. So keep that in mind as we go through this today. If you're like, man, I want to see that, I want to do that, this can be totally switched up and made your own. This is not set in stone by any means. And if you don't know about IQ, if you've never heard of IQ, it's just a big old data model. We pull all your data out of the cloud and dump it into a database, and we teach you on how to build your own custom reports. So if you're struggling with reporting or getting the data you need out of the system and you're trying to automate that process, let us know.
Yep.
What else? Anything else about IQ that I'm missing?
Well, the only thing I know about it is that, you don't have to hire Joe Blow off the street to sift through your data and build reports anymore. You don't have to have spreadsheets. You don't have to have extra hardware.
Yep.
It looks a lot prettier than a spreadsheet, too.
It does look prettier. This is an operations tool.
And it's consistently updating, which is pretty cool.
Every 10 to 15 minutes, you will get new data, which is super cool. So, I think I've rambled enough here. Let's get to the screen and see what we can find. I will show y'all our first template is going to be this Brokerage Operations Manager template, and this was made by a dear friend of mine, Mr. Austin Coles. Some of you around the company and or some of our customer base may be familiar with Austin. He is probably one of the smartest guys I've ever talked to, and he was tasked with coming up with what would a brokerage operations manager want to see. And then I said, and fit it on one page for me, please. Kind of gave him an impossible task, and he kind of blew us away with what he came up with. And I wanted to just kind of show y'all a little bit of what this thing can do. So first things first, if you look over on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see some dispatchers. Abby Dunaway works. Look at that. Who could that be? Ansley. If you hover over Ansley, you see this beautiful chart pop up. I don't know if y'all play MLB The Show or any video game. That's where Austin got the idea for this chart. It's like how your player rankings show. So this is showing us Ainsley's great at check calls per hour. She's almost in the 80th percentile of the company, 1.74 check calls every hour. We could pick it up on the margin side, though, Ainsley. 7%.
Just giving them away.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's good at something. And she takes a long time to cover loads, too. She's 33 hours average time to cover. At least on-time percentages. There's good dispatchers and there's bad dispatchers. Let's look at...
It's not ranked by good dispatcher. It's ranked by who's the coolest dispatcher.
Or alphabetically. Either way.
No, that's why you're at the bottom.
Okay, yeah, there's me. Let's check me out. Oh, wow. What do you know? I happen to have great... But you are beating me in check calls per hour. Margin percentage, average times to cover. You get the gist, though, right? You can hover over this and quickly get a quick look at how your different dispatchers stack up. Also, if I want to see this whole report just for Ainsley, I know she's run 31 orders. I'm going to click her name, and I can see 2 of them are covered, 29 have been delivered, and everything on this page just filtered down for Ainsley. So think about this with your dispatchers, right? With the metrics you guys want to track, just having quick, on-demand access and able to drill through that data. Right here in the margin section, I'm going to go back to everybody because it's more fun that way and the numbers are bigger. Margin, right here. Everybody's got a target margin, right? Let's plug it in. Let's say we want to make 15% on our loads. I'll plug that in. And just like that, this page is going to update, and I'll see, hey, we made 865 in the last 60 days. I can change that if I'd like. And we made about 16%. My target was 15. That's a $60,000 difference, 1.12%. And I can kind of see over the last 60 days how we've trended, where we were above and where we were below. We had 162 negative margin loads. I'd be willing to bet most of those were Ainsley. But, you know, we'll get that cleaned up. Corrective action is a big part of what we do here. So we'll get that.
It could be that I don't cherry pick, you know.
Yeah, look, it's a first come, first serve system. I got there first. Okay. Anyhow, right? So you can check your margin now. You can plug in your percentages. Notice the difference, right? I can plug in for Ainsley. She might have a different margin percentage than Abby or than Austin. Someone like Austin is just incredibly smart, but he's only making 5%. That's a problem. He's way off, and he's always way off. He's never above. So we're gonna have to talk to Austin. We're gonna have to talk to a lot of people, it looks like. But let's jump over here to the KPI performance. I love this one. This gives you the ability to quickly change what you're looking at. So right here, I'm looking at the total revenue, my contract and spot loads. I'm looking at the total revenue for existing and new customers. And then down below, I have my revenue in the last different buckets, 7, 14, 30, 60, 90 days, right? I can just as easily change that to run off margin and see my margin for contract and spot, new and existing customers, just a standard order count if I want to see my covered percentage. Right, we're constantly adding KPIs to this. By the time this gets to UC and is fully launched, there will probably be many more in there. But just giving you the ability to kind of build this thing on your own, out of the box, pop in here and get insightful information. Then over on your right-hand side, you'll see your lane analysis. Right, this is looking those KMAs you might be familiar with from Impact Pro, just using the cloud. Atlanta to Birmingham, Georgia to Atlanta, your top lanes by volume, and let's look at the margin for those. I can see what I've made in the last 60 days in each of those lanes, or I can just see how many orders I've run in the last 60 days for those lanes. Just a lot of data, right? We're trying to take the data that you guys are putting in all the time and constantly dealing with, and have no time to run another report that you export to Excel and do a VLOOKUP to another report that you then search, list, execute, and dump that in Excel and do another VLOOKUP to get to your final report and then do that again next week, right? All this is updating every 10 minutes. So this data stays live, constantly flowing.
Can you pull data into this from any place, or is it just from your McLeod TMS?
Yeah, great question, Ainsley. Look at that. Yeah, outside sources are definitely supported in IQ. So as long as it can link up, right? Like a lot of times we see maintenance providers will link up on Tractor ID, or we'll see your phone provider link up on some type of user ID or extension number or something like that. We've worked with all sorts of different sources, APIs to that Excel sheet that's like been running your business silently for the last 25 years that nobody talks about but everybody knows about.
You're not supposed to be using spreadsheets.
You're not, but I agree that you're not, but y'all keep insisting that you need them. So we do support that. Outside sources, big part of what we do. So if you want to get that one source of truth, all data in the same place, we can do that.
That saves a lot of time.
Yes, a lot of time. We were talking about this before. I was showing Ansley, and she was like, "It's prettier than a spreadsheet." And I was like, "Yeah," but to try to imagine this amount of data on a spreadsheet, right? Just like that wide. Where do you start? How many columns are on that spreadsheet just to get this one, right? If I hover over Ansley and find out she's great at check calls, how can I also see her orders, margin percentage, coverage time, on time percentage, all by order, by revenue, whatever? It's just not feasible. So that's what we do. And this is our brand new template. So if you want to see this and you want to see it loaded with your data instead of this test data I've got in, or the test data, if you just want to look at the test data and go through it, it is fun. Jerry Garcia's in here, John Smoltz. Let us know. You can we can set up a demo for you on your data so that you can see this stuff and get to poke around and ask questions about it.
Can you add your own reports too, or is it just these reports?
Oh yeah. Remember, you were talking about my session.
I know, but can you add to these reports,
Oh,
or is
yeah,
it just
yeah,
the
yeah,
ones
yeah.
we pre-build?
So I
you
give you this
pre-build.
thing, and you're like, Price, I love it. I want to build 3 more pages off of it just like it, for sure. You can build to your heart's content. We train you on how to use our model and build all of these custom reports. Or you can start from scratch and build a report all in your company colors with your themes, your logos. We cover all of that in our standard training materials. So, yes, very much want you to make them your own. That is the goal. Our goal is for you to be able to have a tool that you no longer have to come to McLeod ever if you need a report that you can't get to. Ideally, there is no report you can't get to. Cool. So there's more pages to this. I'm not going to go through it, but these drill through into like carrier detail pages and all sorts of dispatcher overviews and things like that. This is a very in-depth template, but this first page is the one I wanted to show today. Let's jump over to the other one. I've got one more. And this, oft requested. I wanted to show one for the brokerage people that might be watching and one for the asset company that might be watching. So
Smart.
Ansley was a trainer, and are you familiar with tying expenses to tractors in
Yes.
McLeod? Pretty difficult thing to do. You would think it was much easier. We have heard that complaint. Trust me, we are listening. The product team is quick at work to get that something addressed there. But in the meantime, people still need a tractor P&L. It is the most commonly requested report, and it is very difficult to get to right now. There's one thing every McLeod customer has in common, and is that none of them do anything the same. So taking chart of accounts from all these people and operational metrics from everybody and trying to make this one all-encompassing template could be difficult. But this was my stab at it, and I think it'll work out for a lot of people. As you can see here, I'm bringing over all of your entries from accounts payable that are tied to tractors. So I bring those over and let you choose which batch codes you want to include in because you might not want to include all your expenses, right? So I'm not going to include the check on demand or the check posting or the cancellations, but I do want to include those recurring vouchers for trailer washes and the lease and rent, the regular voucher posting. So that'll get what's selected down to like $59,000, right? And this is all year to date. Not that it really matters for the test data, but then I'll jump over here and I'll say, okay, now ledger side. I might have some depreciation accounts or something on the ledger side that I want to include. Let's just say we're going to include payroll taxes, right, for another $23,000. Bingo, fantastic. That brings us to the fun page, right? There's probably still some formatting to be done here by the final time this comes out, but the logic, I think, is what people are most excited for here. Unassigned expenses. So these are all the expenses in AP that we could not tie to a tractor, and we're going to attempt to tie them to one for you. So choose which batch codes you want, account segments you want. You might say, hey, I don't want to include office supplies, so I'm going to dump that account ID out of there, and That's going to give me about $13,000 that I'm going to allocate. And then how do you want to allocate them? By the loaded miles, by revenue? Do you just want an even split across tractors? And all in all, you use those pages, create your cost template, and that gives you your beautiful little P&L. So what you're looking at here is a list of that tractor, the revenue they generated, all the expenses we chose to include, fuel purchases tied to that tractor, order pay from settlements that went to that tractor, or drivers that were driving that tractor, and then of course the profit and profit per mile. So what we're trying to do is give you a way to allocate those expenses across your tractors in numerous different ways so that you can get down to that per mile value. I want to be able to know that tractor 2 makes $2.03 and tractor 9 makes 8 cents a mile. Is that tractor 9? Not tractor 10. Tractor 10 makes 8 cents a mile. Mm-hmm. So I think when that load comes up, tractor 1 might be a little more feasible, right? Might be a better option. So this is completely exportable. Obviously, you'll be able to drill into all the detail pages, so on and so forth. We, of course, have analysis for you to come in and see how many tractors are above and below average, some monthly profit. You can see here I'm slicing these by year, but if I want to look at these by make, I can see that pretty even split across the makes here. We're not picking on any one manufacturer, but I do have 3 Freightliners that are below average. It's 3, 9, and 12, and here's their profit per mile across the different months, right? Totaled out for 89 cents on the Freightliners. But man, they sure are losing some money over there. But as you can see, you can click through and spend tons of time just slicing this data up, looking at it by year, by fleet, however you want to see it, or like the tractor overview page. Plug in a tractor and see where they rank, right? Tractor 7's a 2024 Peterbilt. It's my 5th best from a profit per mile perspective. It's my 7th from fuel, expenses, so on and so forth. So the tractor P&L was really a culmination of we've built 100 of these custom over the last 5 years, and we were like, I don't know if I can do one more. I really don't. So we are going to try to get this all-encompassing version that we can at least, at the very least, be a starting point for most people, and then branch it out. But yeah, those are the new templates, and we are excited about them. We're expecting a lot of. We've already had a lot of user feedback. We've been with customers in the development process of these, and gotten a lot of good feedback. So we're looking forward to it. Let's see. What else? I do have some of the older templates pulled up. I'll cycle through these real quick because y'all might still be looking at my screen, and that could be fun. We're going to go real quick. This is IQ, right? These are the templates that we have available. I'm not going to talk through each and every one of them. If you see anything you would be interested in or that you want to see on your data, please reach out to me. Like I said, we can demonstrate this product on your data tomorrow. Let us know. It's what we do. We're more than happy to.
All 32,000 of them?
All 32,000 of you watch. 33,000 now. 33,000 viewers. I don't know if I can do all of you tomorrow, but I'll try.
You might be over-promising there.
Yeah, this week. All 33,000. Yeah, we'll get there. And Impact Pro is in here too. So like if you want to see yourself compared to the market and maybe you use Impact and you're like, I wish I could build my own reports with that data. You can. Just let us know. But yeah, we're really excited about the new release. We're really excited about UC this year. And that's all for IQ. If you have questions about it, please come find me.
So I have one more question. I saw driver scorecard and carrier scorecard. Do you have to be licensed for those modules to be able to use them in IQ?
Great question, Ainsley. You do not have to be licensed for any additional module to get IQ at all. Period. You will get full functionality, just good old out of the box cloud software. So yes, thank you. This is, like I said, this is my child. I've been working on this product since 2018, and it's the only product I've worked on here at McLeod. As hard to believe as that is, but yeah, big fan. So please come get a demo. Come see what we can do for you, and come see us at UC. What else?
UC is, like we said in the beginning, September 21st through the 23rd. Y'all come out to Denver. Me and Price will be there. You might even get to be a guest on Coded and Loaded
Ooh.
one night.
They're talking about a possible live episode. There might be somebody mad at me for saying that right now, but they're talking about it. So we'll see.
That's all right. That's what we're here for.
We'll sign autographs. Autographs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just bring whatever you want us to sign.
Babies.
I'm not sure we'll go that far,
Okay.
but.
I'll do it. Awesome. Anything else? Wrapping up?
So.
All right, guys, thank you so much for episode 5. Y'all did great. You're a great audience. I appreciate your time. Y'all have a good afternoon.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.